Marseilles moraine. The Marseilles moraine is a terminal moraine that encircles the southern tip of Lake Michigan in North America. It begins near Elgin, Illinois, and extends south and west of Chicago metropolitan area, turning eastward 30 miles 48 km to 40 miles 64 km south of the lake in Kankakee and Iroqouis counties, entering Indiana. It formed during the Wisconsin glaciation. The glacier had been in retreat when it stopped for an extended period, depositing glacial till and sand, creating the hills of the moraine. Distribution. The Marseilles moraine was preceded by the Bloomington morainic system. The name is taken from the village of Marseilles, located where the Illinois River cuts through the moraine. The moraine is readily traced as far north as South Elgin, 4 miles 6.4 km south of the city of Elgin, where it is lost in a composite of other materials. For 25 miles 40 km south it combined with a till ridge called the Miniker Ridge. This follows the east side of Fox River, past St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia, and Aurora. The east side of each city occupies the outer face of the moraine. The width of the belt is 2 miles 3.2 km or 3 miles 4.8 km, 8 km. The moraine continues south along the line of Will and Kendall counties. It runs about 2 miles 3.2 km or 3 miles 4.8 km beyond the river. The Marseilles moraine turns west at the bluff between Oswego and Yorkville. The Miniker Ridge continues southward to the Illinois River. The Marseilles moraine follows nearly the southeast bluff of Fox River to the mouth of the stream, its outer border being nowhere more than 4 miles 6.4 km and usually less than 1 mile 1.6 km from the stream. The width in Kendall County is only 2 or 3 miles, but increases to 5 or 6 miles in northeastern LaSalle County near the north bluff of the Illinois River. At the Illinois Valley, it changes from south-southwest to a south-southeast course. It maintains a 3 miles 4.8 km to 5 miles 8.0 km width through southeastern LaSalle and northern Livingston counties. It is associated with Farm Ridge in Livingston County. The Farm Ridge is an inner ridge of the Bloomington system. In the vicinity of Odell, the moraine turns eastward, and near the line of Livingston and Ford counties takes a course northeast in broad curve of 8 miles 13 km or 10 miles 16 km wide, reaching the vicinity of Stee, and where it turns southeast. Iroquois moraine continuation. From Stee, and it continues to the southeast, reaching the state line. Here the name changes to the Iroquois, continuing through Newton and Jasper counties, Indiana. The moraine expands to cover a 3 miles 4.8 km to 6 miles 9.7 km in width across the landscapes as far as Meadowville, in Pulaski County, Indiana. To the east it disappears. It may end here, or its remnants may be obscured beneath the Lake Kankakee sand ridges. The rise from the plain to the crest of the moraine on the north amounts to 20 to 40 feet 6.1 to 12.2 m high, about 2 miles 3.2 km, and on the south to 30 feet 9.1 m to 50 feet v. The width of the Iroquois moraine is generally between 2 and 4 miles 3.2 and 6.4 km, but bouldery areas on its north border extend about 2 miles 3.2 km farther north. The southern border of the Iroquois moraine lies 1 mile 1.6 km to 4 miles 6.4 km north of Iroquois River in Newton and Jasper counties and trends southwest and northeast. In eastern Jasper it turns northward. It dies out as a definite ridge 4 or 5 miles 6.4 or 8.0 km south of Kankakee River. Some uncertainty remains on whether it continues to the east. One possible correlative is a moraine, which begins near Base Lake, in Stark County. Between eastern Jasper County and Base Lake, the area is generally sand-covered, with a broad low ridge running from the north end of the Iroquois moraine at St. Pierre to North Judson. This ridge has patches of boulders in the till line from North Judson to Base Lake, as do many other moraines in northern Indiana. The moraine from Base Lake runs to the southeast and was formed by the sagittal lobe of the Laurentide Glacier and is the outer border of the Great Kankakee moraine. Altitude and topography. The crest is around 750 feet 230 m above sea level and varies only about 25 feet 7.6 m. The outer border of the moraine follows closely along the 650 feet 200 m contour line along its border. The inside border runs close to the 700 feet 210 m. The Marseilles moraine has a well-defined crest, which acts as a watershed divide. North of the Illinois River it lies between the Fox River and the DuPage River, Osable Creek, and Nettle Creek. South of Illinois lies between the Vermilion River's tributaries and the Kankakee River. A branch of it that runs north of the Iroquois River and south of Kankakee River is split by the Iroquois River at several places. The sharpest relief is in Kendall County, Illinois. A ridge stands 30 feet 9.1 m to 40 feet 12 m above the adjacent part of the moraine. This is unusual, as the crest is a broad undulating ridge of 1 mile 1.6 km to 2 miles 3.2 km in width. The majority of the crest is a series of swells, seldom exceeding 20 feet 6.1 m with easy slopes. In Livingston County the swells reach 50 feet 15 m above the surrounding sloughs. Another prominent set of knolls are along the Kankakee and Iroquois counties. Here the knolls reach 75 feet 23 m or more above the surrounding moraine. The highest points noted on the Marseilles system in the district north of Iroquois River are north of Rensselaer, where an altitude of 760 feet 230 m to 755 feet 230 m above sea level is attained. Much of the moraine reaches between 700 feet 210 m and 725 feet 221 m. Outwash. Along Fox River in Kane and Kendall counties, a belt of coarse gravel lines the outside of the Marseilles moraine. The deposit lay mostly across the river from the moraine. At Batavia it is chiefly on the west side, at Aurora on the east side, and at Yorkville on the west side. The gravel is so extensive in Kane and Kendall counties and so small farther down Fox River as to suggest that it forms a delta. In the vicinity of the Illinois River, there are indications of a lake-like expansion of outflowing waters. The Illinois Valley, therefore, appears to have been unopened along the section between the Marseilles moraine and the inner moraine of the Bloomington series. The basin now drained by the Iroquois River into the Kankakee was blocked by ice in that direction. The outlet would have been west across the rim of the basin in northern Ford County into the East Fork of Vermilion River. Evidence of fine sand and silt covering the till plain show